Hello lovely people, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mrcp and I'm a doctor from India who's currently working in the NHS. Big news this side, I got selected into IMT and it's all because of my supportive colleagues who made me apply for the IMT position and helped me prepare for the interview process. So thanks to you guys, thank you Dan for helping me prepare for the interview. Thank you John Eddie if you're watching this video for making me apply for the process. I applied for IMT training within 3 months of joining my non-training job. So it is possible. And this video is exactly about that. I'm not smart, I'm not a topper, I'm not British, I'm not at all British, and I still got the interview. I still got the IMT position. So if I could do it, there's no reason why you can't. So this video is about all the things that I can tell you about the application process, starting from the Oriel side to the interview process and what the interview entails and when do you hear back from them. Now I'm no expert in this, but as Oscar Cleon says, the best way to learn about anything really is by approaching the people who have accomplished that thing recently. This is the latest addition to my life, and this is me turning it around just to pass on that knowledge, as trivial as it may be, because I know that this process it's very confusing, especially for us IMGs. We don't know how the process is, we don't know how to apply into IMT training, and we don't know anything about the interview. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Talking about the Oriel process, the application timeline, Crest form and other documents that's required. We'll be talking about the important things to include in your CV, the interview invite and the interview process, starting with Oriel. So Oriel is the site through which you apply into IMT training. This is where you send your applications. This is the site through which you apply for all the training positions, not just IMT, but also psychiatry, ophthalmology, जो भी training positions सब तुम इसी के through apply करते. For IMT, the application opens once a year. For me, it was 26th October when the application window opened for IMT. Like it's always around late October when the application window for IMT opens. And it closes by the end of November. I think it was 23rd November for IMT 2024. But somewhere around that time, हमेशा ऐसा होगा. So make sure that you have prepared your CV by the month of October. And you have all the documents ready by the month of October. For other training positions like psychiatry and GP training, applications दो बार खुलते हैं. Once it's again around the same time, and दूसरी बार फिर से for the remaining seats एक और बार window खुलता है around late August. So for example, if you're applying for psychiatry training in 2024, पहला window खुला है in 2023 in October, and then the second window for the remaining seats will open up around late July. The documents. The only document that you require for IMT, the most important document that you need to submit with your application is the Crest form. Crest form, I've already mentioned it in my previous videos, but let me mention it again. Crest form is a document that is very important document. It's very important for when it comes to applying for any training position. Crest form sign करने की कुछ conditions हैं. First of all, it can only be signed by your supervisor or your consultant, जिसके अंदर you have worked for a period of 3 or more months. Can you get the Crest form signed in India? Yes. Can you get the Crest form signed from your home country? Yes. Do I recommend that? So I got my Crest form signed back home, but I did not use it for my IMT process because the consultant who signs your Crest form is the one who's contacted later when it comes to verifying your CV or when it comes to acting as your reference. So make sure that the person whosoever signs your Crest form is aware that you are going to apply for the IMT training. Now the good thing when you get a Crest form signed in UK is that because the consultant would be working in NHS, they are well aware of the whole situation of the IMT process. As soon as they get a mail from the training people that you've been selected as a reference for this person or you've signed a Crest form for this person, they respond quickly, right? Because they know how important it is. Most of the times the consultants back home, they are not aware of the situation and they don't respond so promptly when it comes to mails. Now let's talk about portfolios and CVs. So हर training program में a portfolio is not required. I applied for psychiatry training as well. In that, the portfolio is not required. However, for IMT training, as soon as you fill in the basic information, they'll also ask you fill certain sections about your publications, about your audits, about your teaching positions, about your basic clinical experience, and distinctions that you've received or any exams that you qualify. Most importantly, the Mrcp. Did I take the Mrcp? No. I still got selected in the interview. There's a rumor going around that Mrcp is a prerequisite, as in you need to qualify Mrcp 1 before you sit for the interview, before you apply for IMT. It's not like that. You can still apply for IMT. It's just that if you have Mrcp, it shows your dedication towards the field. And apart from that, it also adds some points to your CV. Based on your achievements in all of these sections, you'll be allotted a score. Once you've applied through the portal, through Oriel, they'll take some time, about a month, to go through your CV, and they'll do what they call as long listing. That is, they'll be selecting a bunch of people for the interview process. Just to give you an idea of it, in 2023, the people who applied for IMT 2024 were 4,406, but the total vacancies for IMT was just 1,633, which makes it a competition ratio of 2.69. And the competition ratio is increasing every year. But तुम्हें तो एक ही सीट चाहिए ना, like all you need is just one seat. So don't care about the competition ratio and just apply for it. I was very scared when I first applied for my IMT, but I knew that I was not going to stress about it, and even if I failed, it was fine because it was just a learning experience for me. I would come to know about the flaws in my CV and work on it so that I can apply next year with better preparation. You applied for the interview process in October, late October. They take about a month to do the basic filtering or the long listing, and by the end of December, they'll send you a mail informing you about whether you got selected for the interview or not. Once you've got the mail, they'll then ask you to log into your Oriel account. They'll give you a link of another site through which you can book your IMT interview. All the IMT interviews don't happen on the same day. They give you slots between end of January to the beginning or the first 2 weeks of February. If you do get selected for the interview, they give you about a week to book your slot for the interview, and you have the option of choosing the time and the date according to your suitability. Whether you get selected for the IMT is basically dependent on your total score, which is accumulation of your raw score or your raw interview score and your portfolio score. Iska sum hota hai, and the sum decides your selection into them. Once you get selected for the interview, you get about a month to prepare for the interview. Use it wisely, because मैंने नहीं किया था. As I've told you before, I was confused between psychiatry training and IMT training. When I joined my non-training job, I was hell-bent that psychiatry training is what I want to go for, and that is when I started preparing for my MSRA. During my job, I realized that I was more interested in IMT. I ended up taking the MSRA exam on 10th January and had my IMT interview on 23rd January. So till 10th January, I was preparing for my MSRA, and after 10th January, for about a week, I had my long days. So at that time, I could not study. So I literally had like 5 days to prepare for the interview. Do not do that. I do not recommend that because that adds a lot of anxiety. I remember crying 5 days before my interview that, okay, I'm not at all prepared. And that's when my friend Maro told me that, listen, you have recently given the interview for your non-training job, right? So you have a bit of preparation there. All you need to do is just brush up those points. Just focus on what new things you need to do for this IMT interview, and you got it covered. At least give it your best shot. So thanks to Mara if you're watching this video. Thanks for making me do it. The main two things that I did for my IMT interview was I talked to my seniors, my colleagues, especially the IMT ones, because they recently sat for the interview, and they told me all about the interview process, what are the basic criteria that you scored on, and yeah, in general things. And the second thing that I did was subscribing to MediBuddy. They're not sponsoring this video, but MediBuddy, if you're watching this video, consider sponsoring it, because it was the best thing I could do in order to prepare for IMT interviews. I mean, I knew where I lacked, but I did not know what exactly I needed to do when it comes to improving in those areas. Like my handover skills were very bad, but MediBuddy helped me prepare for that. They have the sections mentioned as to what are the sections that comes in the interview. You can specifically practice one section. Because I did not have much time, I just practiced some of the sections from them, like the clinical governance section from MediBuddy and the handover section from MediBuddy, a little bit through the other sections, and I highly recommend that. It helped me prepare for the interview, and I am sure that it will help you prepare for the interview. Why am I talking so much about MediBuddy? Not even sponsoring this video. Let's not talk about it. Apart from this, there's another sort of Bible when it comes to IMT interviews and any interview really, and it is the ILS learning book. Certain points marked or highlighted when I was preparing for my non-training interview. When I had just 5 to 7 days to prepare for my interview, I literally sort of improvise the same answers that I had for my non-training preparation book, and I just tweaked it a little bit here and there, and that helped me with the interview. So yeah, it was fun. The entire process, the interview, and everything was actually fun, and I think that is the deal. The deal is to enjoy the journey without thinking about the outcome at all. I hope that this video helps clear some, if not all, of your doubts when it comes to IMT process and Oriel and the interview. And I hope that through this video you are encouraged to apply for IMT. And if you have any doubts, which I'm sure you do, because I was very confused when I applied for IMT, like I mentioned, feel free to mention in the comment section below. Even if I don't have the answers, I promise that I will figure it out for you guys. I will sort it out for you guys, as long as you're mentioning that in the comment section. So yeah, let's continue this conversation there. And I hope you enjoy your job or your training process or whatever it is that you're doing. All the best with that, and stay positive. Goodbye. Allah Hafiz. Before you go, let me just tell you about this company, Motifinity. If you're new to UK and you don't have a license or a car yet, and you're thinking about buying a car, this is a company that gives you decent offers on your first cars. I really love their idea of giving it back to the society, and the offers are pretty decent. You should check it out if you're thinking of buying your first car abroad. In order to avail their offers, you will need a blue light card. That's it. It's that easy. It's that simple. See you guys in the comment section, and if you think that anyone can benefit from this video, then share it, like, share, subscribe, you know the drill. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.